sometimes I think that Deshaun Watson is underappreciated and undervalued because of where he plays and all the things that he does and that sort of thing. I mean, every team that doesn't have Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and I mean that, you know, and that obvious list of characters should be desperately trying to get him, yes?
No, absolutely. Listen, what we saw Deshaun Watson do on a depleted Houston Texans team this year was amazing. I think it actually raised his value. It allowed people to actually see his worth outside of Houston when you're watching him fight and keep this team in the game each and every week. And what I tweeted last week was insurmountable leads given up by his defense every single day or every single game. But when you look at Deshaun Watson and the things that he can bring to your organization, the type of leadership, the type of quality person he is away from the field, this is a guy you have to absolutely want. And for me, you know, Kimberly mentioned those teams. Obviously, you're going to think about the Jets. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, you have to consider thinking about that number one pick and saying, do I want Deshaun Watson, who I know can do this, who I believe was better at Clemson than Trevor Lawrence was, or do we start with Trevor Lawrence and start all over from the beginning with our new head coach? But listen, if you're the new GM of the Houston Texans, your wife is going to be asking you questions like, who is texting you late talking about, hey, big head, you up? Because that's what people should be asking him right now. You up? Because I'm trying to see what you're doing with Deshaun Watson.
All right. You brought up a great question. David Pollack, I'll bring it to you. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the first pick in the draft, which is extraordinarily valuable this year because it basically represents Trevor Lawrence. If you're the Jaguars, would you trade that pick to Houston for Deshaun Watson? And if you're the Texans, would you do it?
How fast can I put it in? I mean, I'll give it to you right now, like 100%. Like, this ain't even debatable, like, right? Yes.
Right.
And by the way, how about the Jags sitting in the position they're sitting in with 2 firsts, 2 seconds? They've got the ammunition. Again, we can talk about Trevor Lawrence, and he is a huge prospect, and I think he's going to be awesome. But let's also look at it takes time to develop. It's taken Deshaun Watson time to develop. By the way, this is the first year I've looked at him and gone, okay, you can see the anticipation as a passer. You can see him being able to throw guys open. It takes time. It's going to take Trevor Lawrence time, too. By the way, Trevor Lawrence comes from the same system that isn't really an NFL system that's going to take time to develop him as well. So how fast can I give you the sheet of paper with my 2 1s, with a 2, with a 1 next year? And by the way, it's what, 4 years, $160 million? Like, yes, please, sign me up right now.
That's what I was going to say, though, Kimberly. Deshaun is expensive. It's 4 years, $160 million. He's worth every penny of it. But Trevor Lawrence, we all know, you control him for 5 years. It's much, much, much cheaper. What do you think? Who doesn't do it?
Only the Chiefs. Like, it would be the team that I would say, like, all right. I mean, if you're the 49ers, you can say all you want about Jimmy Garoppolo. No disrespect to him. I know that Kyle Shanahan is a big supporter, but you get a chance to get Deshaun Watson with that roster, loaded with talent, you call them up. You convince John Lynch, like, hey, make that call because that's a guy we can clearly win with. I mean, even the Jets, it's not a team that I think is even close to being really good. But you add Deshaun Watson, I mean, it's like he makes
Greedy feels better about it.
His
kids got to change their names.
The Jets should throw in the Chrysler Building. I mean, I don't know whatever it is you can figure out. You can trade. Here's the entire roster, the second pick in the draft, and any legendary architecture we have in our city to get Deshaun Watson. That's what 20. I haven't looked at the entire thing. 28 teams roughly in the NFL should be trying to make that trade. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.